Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Working Trader, where we look at the Euro USD and we do our daily analysis. And please, if you're liking these streams, if you're liking these videos, if you're liking this content, please hit the like and subscribe and turn on notifications. So without wasting much time, let's jump into the charts. Let's look at Forex Factory. So today is a Monday, so as expected, usually on Monday it's a low volume day. Alright, low volatility. So there is usually no economic news. So as you can see, we do not have anything. And then looking ahead, Tuesday there is a bit of news at 3 p.m. And then Wednesday might be important because we have news at 1:30 and at 7 p.m. and particularly the FOMC press conference. Okay, that's really key news. The funds rate as well, federal funds rate. So this will determine the interest rates for the currencies. So this could have a huge impact on the market. And then Thursday we have unemployment claims. That's at 1:30. So I would suppose on Wednesday that's where we'll get whatever happens on Thursday. Whatever will happen on Wednesday, this will kind of set the tone for the rest of the week. Okay, but as I've always said, we only look at the news just to know when there is high likelihood of volatility in the market. Otherwise, we still use our technical analysis to make our decisions. So let's jump into the charts. Let's look at what happened on Friday last week. So we do have our daily internal that's still bearish. Price was reacting from this daily supply, and we do have this newly created daily demand that was responsible for breaking these highs over here. So it is only a fractal high break. So the expectation now could be that we have already printed our higher low, and now price is ready to go up and attack the daily week swing high. All right. So looking at the 4 hour, we had this POI, that was newly created, which was as a result of we had a choke right over there, and so I just marked this POI, and I was saying that we're expecting price at least to come and mitigate this daily, this newly created daily demand, even though it's a fractal demand area. And as you can see on the 1 hour, we had the supply, this demand, which was right here, which I was saying it was highly likely that it was going to fail. And as you can see, price did react at the 4 hour, and then we did have a reaction on the 1 hour as well. However, it wouldn't have hit our TP. So eventually I think it came up maybe around 1.5 hour, and then eventually it failed. So this was the expectation, because I was saying that imagine this is a daily supply with a nested 4 hour supply, and this is a 1 hour that's fighting against the 4 hour and the daily. So it is highly likely that the 1 hour will fail. So that happened. All right. So on the 1 hour chart, we can see that we are starting to have bearish breaks of structure. We're starting to have bearish breaks of structure. Now overnight today, this morning, we can see that price did come up. Okay, so we have mitigated this newly created 1 hour supply, which has already been mitigated. So we would be expecting price to push in deeper into that. Okay, so what has happened is price has created relatively equal highs. Okay, so this is liquidity resting up here. So this is likely going to be taken at some point. So let's look at the analysis for the day. Let's go back to the daily. Right, so what is the context? So we always need to start with the context. Okay, so our daily swing is bullish. All right, this is our strong swing low, and this is our weak daily swing high. All right, so this is the range we're playing in. So price was in a pullback. All right, so internally we're bearish. Internally price is bearish, but our swing is bullish. So at this point, this could be the higher low that has been formed for price to now continue the bullish swing trend. Okay, for price to continue the bullish swing trend. Now internally we still have this supply that is in control, right? This is our strong internal high, all right? But because it has already been mitigated once, twice, now 3 times, the expectation is that price will continue to mitigate even deeper, okay, and possibly eliminate the supply, okay, and possibly eliminate the supply, because if it was strong, okay, if it was strong, when we mitigated here, we should have eliminated this weak low and at least gone down to mitigate the extreme unmitigated demand, but price did not do that. Okay, so the expectation now is, even though the internal is still bearish, okay, internal is still bearish, but the expectation now is it is likely to fail. Okay, it is likely to fail, and we're likely to switch bullish any moment now. It could be this week, it could be next week, but we just follow price action as it develops. So as we look at the 4-hour, so our 4-hour, the internal is the same as that on the daily. Internal is still the same as that on the daily, right? So the swing is also the same as on the daily. So the swing for the 4-hour is bullish. Okay, swing is bullish. All right, and then our internal is bearish. But when we look at the internal of the internal, so these small trends inside the internal, all right, if we are trying to follow price every day to come up with trades, so we have to follow the most recent price action. Okay, so if we're looking at the internal of the internal, right now it is bullish. Okay, so we are breaking structure to the upside. Okay, we are breaking structure to the upside. So this is our weak internal high. This is our strong internal low. So price may have done the retracement. Okay, so a choke is only there to facilitate an internal pullback. Okay, so a choke is only there to facilitate an internal pullback. So the internal pullback could be over right there. We didn't quite mitigate the daily demand, but we've come very close to it. Okay, so this could be the higher low that has been formed, and now price is going to continue bullish to take out this 4-hour supply, which has already been mitigated once, and now we're expecting a deeper mitigation, and then possibly for it to fail. Okay, so right now there is not much clarity. So let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, so on the 1 hour 1 hour has already switched bearish. Okay, we are seeing demand areas failing. Okay, demand areas failing. So the 1 hour has already switched bearish. Okay, as expected. If the trend is going to change, it will change from the smallest time frame to the higher time frames. So 1 hour has already switched bearish, and we are seeing the strong high. All right, the supply, though it has been mitigated once, and we've had a deeper mitigation. Price could then tank from here to go down and at least mitigate any of these areas. Okay, mitigate any of those areas. So my bias for the day, well and truly, is today is not it's not very clear. Today is not very clear. Also because it's a Monday, it is highly likely that there will be low volatility. So we may not really expect much of a big move to happen. Okay, so price could just drop, right, and then just start consolidating or ranging. Okay, so there may not be much of a movement today. If it happens, then we are simply waiting for clear structure breaks. Okay, we're waiting to see clear structure breaks. So either this low goes, okay, or this high goes. All right. If that high goes and we have a strong bullish candle, okay, then it means we are now going bullish. All right. It means we are now going bullish. If this holds and then price starts printing candles to the downside, and then we break this low, okay, and we break this low, then that means we're likely to be pushing lower, right, to at least mitigate this if prices to then continue bullish. Because remember, our medium time frame is the 4 hour, and it is still bullish. Okay, it is still bullish. It hasn't switched bearish. We only had a choke, so it is still bullish. So bias technically is still bullish. All right, our bias based on our medium time frame, our bias is still bullish. So this could be the higher low within this internal of internal that has been formed, and now we could be targeting this weak internal of internal high. Okay, and then we could be looking to attack that, and that would be the overall idea for the day. Okay, so confirmation will sort of be if price comes in and takes out this high, then it will be absolutely it will be sort of like a fact that we're going to run this high as well. Okay, that we're going to run that high as well. So at the moment, do we have any demand? Okay, so obviously we've had breaks of structure right there. So this would be the only demand that is unmitigated. This one is not reliable. It could work, right? That one could work, but it is not as reliable. Would want to see a proper fractal structure at the very least. So, all right. So this would be current demand area. Okay. Then everything else before that is mitigated. Of course, we've had a mitigation on departure, and then we have this one, which is not the highest probability, but it can still play out. Okay, it can still play out. Oh, is it? Let's see. No, okay, so it looks like we do have a fractal structure break here. So, oh yeah, so it is a reliable demand that we can look at. So, the high is 1.16555, and then the high here is 1.16556. Okay, yeah, so we do have that you know, high and the lower high, and then price continue to make higher highs. Okay, price continue to making higher highs. So that is a demand zone we could look at. Okay, we could look at. So of course we had this structure break. Okay, which was, and this is the decisional that caused that break of structure right over there, and then this is the extreme. Okay, if this fails, then this is the extreme that we could be looking to take longs from. Okay, so that's it for today. That's the analysis for today. So just to recap, bias is longs. Okay, bias is longs because 4-hour is still bullish. All right, however, price is we are at the extreme of this 4-hour area. Okay, so price could easily go down from there, but we've made relatively core highs. We're expecting this area to be mitigated as well. Okay, at this area at the top. So I think there is room that price will continue bullish. Okay, price will continue bullish. So I would say if this fails, then we might then look to go along from here. Okay, so that's it for today. We will see you tomorrow, same time. So this is the Working Trader signing out. Have a good day.